Digital 410 Productions proudly presents the What's in Your Head podcast.
Digitized live from
Your company name here.
the studios in Cape Coral, Florida. It's the What's in Your Head podcast.
We like to point to play.
What's up?
We
What's
like
up,
to point
OG5? We're back with another episode of the What's in Your Head podcast. We went a little bit long there because I was waiting for Mike to say, yo, dude, I'm ready. But you know what? I gave up on that. We let Ren carry us into the beginning of the show, and we are back. Half of Morgan is back. I'm concerned. You are whittling away with longing, I think. You longing or...
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were waiting on me.
I said, are you all ready? Meanwhile, Moby joined the show. What's up, Moby? You got any new records coming out? How much weight are you down?
Oh no, I was down about 40, but I've been able to eat again.
You got him
So
Mississippi tapeworm.
Well, yeah, I don't know what was going on. Well, a part of it was I had shingles, and that makes it, extremely difficult to eat and do anything else. All you want to do is just crawl in a hole and die, and yeah, pretty rough stuff.
Makes sense.
First things first, congratulations on making it to the age where one gets shingles. The last person I know to have shingles was my grandfather. He had it 3 times. So that's an accomplishment in and of itself. For those of you all playing along at home, shingles is actually comes from the chicken pox virus, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's an
Yeah,
advanced
this was
form,
my.
isn't it?
I think this was my 5th round.
Fifth round.
So 5th round, yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So, yay me.
Mike, your kid is probably the youngest kid out of all of our kids. Has your kid have chicken pox?
No,
Do kids still get chicken pox?
I don't think so.
Is it wiped out with the jab?
Well, I don't know that it's wiped out per se, but it's definitely. Well, actually, there was one. What was it? It was recent. Measles. Did you guys hear about the measles outbreak
Oh,
that was
yeah.
coming back?
That's a goose of a different color.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we all got a measles vaccine or something like that at one point, right?
Oh yeah, you get measles, mumps, and rubella are
Right.
all one shot.
So, I mean, we've been getting that vaccine for how long now? I mean, at least 30 years, probably 40 or 50 or more even.
What vaccine is
So-
that?
The measles.
We're talking chicken pox.
I know, but my addition to that is the vaccine has been around for quite a while for measles, and that still popped back up. So, I mean, whether or not chicken pox is completely, out of the game, I don't want to say that.
I
for
haven't
sure.
had health insurance since like 2003, so I'm
Holy
not
shit.
paid on my inoculations. Fun fact, Morgan, did you know that there was a chicken pox vaccine that was produced in 1995?
Yes.
I didn't, because 1995 was my sophomore year. I had more things to worry about than chicken pox. But the answer, according to AI, since the introduction of the chickenpox vaccine in the United States in 1995, chickenpox cases have declined by over, anybody got a guess percentage?
63%.
Mike?
73%.
Those of you playing at home probably think Mike's way over. Mike is under.
Holy shit.
97.
Oh wow.
Declined by 97%, which would make sense.
Wow.
None of us can remember the last time anybody got chickenpox.
Right.
I was born in 78, which chickenpox is like a little kid thing primarily. You usually get in elementary school.
Sure.
And Oregon can remember this. So I was born 98, 99, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 80. So around 83, 84, I was 5 years old, just getting into kindergarten, first grade, 86. I remember I tell you exactly where I was when I got chickenpox. We're at my cousin Johnny and Matt's trailer up on top of the holler. And fun fact, if you guys go to Analog 410 and go to the guns video, you'll see a video of me, my cousin Johnny, and my very young Sariana shooting an AR-15 in Kentucky. You can't tell, but behind us is a single wide trailer completely engulfed in weeds because they moved out of there in 2001. We were shooting down what used to be their driveway, and up to the right, and in the video you will see, and I'll link it on this episode. We walk around the barn that has collapsed, and he's showing how the hayloft fell and is being propped up by the old headboard of his waterbed. Rewind to 1984-ish, 1983. I was standing below said hayloft when his older brother Matt pissed on me. Golden rain from the sky, because you know that's what Kentucky boys do. You just piss on one another. And so I remember lifting up my shirt to see I had chicken pox.
Oh no!
So of course, where does a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old who got pissed on think chicken pox come from? Clearly being peed on. So I remember my mom and my aunt were laying out in the sun on those old. Remember the old clickety trifold
Oh yeah, the old
chairs
chase lounges
that were made out of like it was like blue,
the
white,
PVC
blue.
wrapping.
Yeah, it was like, kind of like what your kids would have like their friendship bracelets made out of today. And so of course back then they're all covered in iodine and in oil and Crisco. And so you had to put a towel down that thing, or you slide out of it like a slip and slide. Or if you're broke, half of the plastic's broken, and so your ass is sinking down, and so you got to put the blanket on it. But anyhow, they're laying in those clickety clack ratcheted system PVC lounge chairs getting sun, and I showed my mom, and that's how I got chicken pox. Morgan, how did you acquire chicken pox?
I don't know. I was probably 6 or 7, and my mom had an in-house daycare, and we all had it. And all of a sudden, it was great because we had a party for like 3 or 4 days because all the kids just stayed overnight and overnight and overnight because they all had chicken pox. And then all of
That was
these
a
other
thing.
kids showed up.
Yep, and that's what I was kind of getting to. That was a thing. This is probably long dead and gone by the time you were a teenager, Mike. Back in the 70s and 80s, especially like if one of the neighborhood kids got chicken pox in the summertime before school started, it was phone calls. Bring everybody over to Sheila's house. Let's get the chicken pox out of the way before school starts. It wasn't keep away from Johnny. It's bring your kids over. Let's get the shit out of the way, because the idea is you get it once, you build an immune system to it, you never break out again until you're 63, and then you get shingles 5 times. But anyhow, So
Hey,
everybody
back up with that 63 business, buddy.
9 and a half.
I got a little ways to go before I get there.
But how is talk about end of a spectrum? You want to talk about why Gen X is so fucking rugged. Your parents made you put on a mask for COVID. Our parents were gathering us up in the fucking Winnebago, stacking us on top of each other like cordwood, so we get the chicken pox from the neighborhood kid to get it out of the way, so we didn't miss any school. That was the thing.
Did you ever see the episode of South Park where Kenny had chicken pox and they were all trying to get
It was like
all the parents were trying to get her together?
I don't remember that one.
Speaking of inoculations, I gave you guys the homework assignment, which I know you didn't do it. John Adams, the old HBO series John Adams, was a great series, but in that series they're showing how wasn't measles, but back in like the plague or whatever the fuck it was, they were getting the big old sores on them back in like the 1700s, 1800s, smallpox. So they were showing how they got smallpox inoculations back in. We want to complain about shots. Now, John Adams, the series, will show you how there's nothing funny about the practice of tar and feathering somebody. We all think it's funny, particularly Gen Xers, because we had old Looney Tune cartoons from the 30s and 40s that would show people getting tarred and feathered. Ha 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 ha. No, they showed it in full frontal nudity when they tarred the tax man, where they tore off his skin, and the tar was not just tar, it was tar that was boiling hot. They would dump it on your skin so it would burn your skin, fill your pores, and you'd basically sweat to death and die of pain. And then the feathers was just for humiliation. But they show in that movie Abigail Adams having her kids inoculated from smallpox. You know the scene in Bring Out Your Dead? Monty Python, Search for Holy Grail.
Yeah.
It's more serious. There's no one screaming, bring out your dead. But the doctor comes to John Adams' home with that same wagon full of bodies that are alive, that are all almost dead with smallpox. He would go out there, puncture a smallpox wound, gather up the pus, go into the house with a 1763 version of a scalpel, if you can picture what that is, basically a sharp piece of aluminum, cut the kids open, and then take the swab of pus that just came off of George out in the wagon on the front stoop, who's probably also covered in horse shit, and then gouge it into their freshly opened wound. That was how inoculations originally started. And then obviously all the kids got smallpox, but a smaller version of it, and their immune system built up. But you watch that and like, yeah, I guess maybe that shot in the ass isn't so bad for that I had to get my TB booster in 3rd grade.
Could you imagine, Mike, going through the shot gauntlet in the Army if they had to cut you open and jab you full of a spoonful of pus?
How many wagons would there have been out
that.
front, right? You would have had to have a metric
Fuck
Oh
wagon.
my gosh.
That was already bad enough without having to fucking deal with that. Add that in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going AWOL. I'm not dealing with
And
it.
a helmet for my pillow. Robert Lucky's talking about how there's a guy in boot camp. He's just this barrel-chested, corn-fed farm boy. He's so wide that he wasn't fat. He was just a brick shithouse. He was so wide, he took up 2 positions in the line, and the corpsmen were doing that jab thing so quickly that both of them jabbed him twice in both arms. And so instead of getting it once, he got 4 times. They had to take him to the hospital because he literally just got the same inoculation 4 times in 2 different arms.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I pulled up that scene in John Adams. That is fucking brutal.
Which one, the tar and feathering or the inoculation scene?
No, the tarn, and you're right, full frontal. I mean, you can see
Oh, and you know, and in
his,
that
his
scene,
members hanging out there like, hey, what's up, buddy?
that's an actor who really wanted the gig.
Yeah, exactly.
You know who's standing next to John Adams in that scene, that fun-loving scene?
Who's that?
Good old Sam. Sam Adams, the beer guy, Adams'
Yeah.
cousin. He kind of incited that riot that resulted in that poor son of a bitch getting tarred and feathered. So
Right.
remember that next time you're drinking your pumpkin ale. That's Sam Adams. He was a fun-loving fella.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's fucking rough. Like, and when you think about stuff like that from back in the day, like when, like torturous type of, humiliation and stuff like
Bone
that. It's like
quartering.
medieval type shit. I mean, even not that long ago when you're talking with, when John Adams was around, that kind of shit. I mean,
Remember how we all felt the first time we
Fuck.
saw Braveheart at the end when they cut his stomach open and pulled his innards out.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Nothing like getting drawn and quartered.
Fucking nuts. Like, and some of those, what was it? The one that would stretch you.
Mm-hmm.
You'd take all
Oh,
your
the
limbs.
rack.
The rack, yeah. And there was variations of it too, because I know there was a few where it would pull you straight, and then there were other ones where it would pull you out like that.
I don't think the Spaniards get enough shit for the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Those came up with some. You thought that torture scene from Wu-Tang Clan's 36 Chambers? Torture, motherfucker, torture. The amount of crap they came up with was insane.
Brutal and scary. I mean, that's where the human mind can actually go.
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
what?
That is fucking.
Your choice.
That's
Anything
scarier.
you've
I
seen in the
think.
movie Saul or anything from the book of the Spanish Inquisition? Give me Saul any goddamn day.
Yeah, I'll cut
Oh,
off.
yeah.
I'll cut off a foot. I'm good with that.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.